So, but anyway, speaking of fights, there are some good fights. I just want to, one thing I do, I'm jumping all over the place here. One thing I do want to just close my opinion on is the DAZN and Turki Al-Rashid situation. Look, it's in a way it's unfair to kind of package Turki Al-Rashid in this. He doesn't own DAZN. The problem is that he made the statement that there was going to be no more pay-per-views. And like I was saying to Coach Dave before, I think that if they thought the verbiage out correctly and stopped using the word pay-per-view and packaged it in with DAZN, our new subscription includes all the fights type of a thing, I don't think the backlash would have been as severe as they're receiving now. I mean, I'm getting emails and social media posts saying, they're canceling, they're not doing it. Here's the problem. They're the only game in town, boys and girls. I mean, DAZN is where it's at if you like boxing. I mean, look, if you love to watch boxing and you want to see it live and you want to see it all and you want to see it, basically unfold the way it should, DAZN is where it's at. I should be getting paid for this promotion, but it's just the truth. And you want to unify. You want to bring in the fans, not chase them away. I think their marketing department definitely made an error with that one. But new to the show, or in case you missed it, I've been doing what we call the Billy C rankings. Okay, I got a little fed up with all of the rankings that we have, the four major sanctioning bodies, and then the Ring magazine, then the ESPN, and computer rankings, which I value the most, specifically the IBO rankings. I like them. I think they're the most accurate of all, but the computer. But what I decided to do was to rank the divisions non-biased. There's no champions. I'm just going to be ranking who I think are the top 12 of each division. But here's the little twist. I'm only doing 9 divisions. I'm taking the 8 original divisions, and I added the cruiserweight division because I feel that the cruiserweight division is important because there's such a big jump between 200 pounds and some of the heavyweights now that, step into the ring at 250, chiseled, So that's what I'm doing. And I'm going through each weight class each week. And then once we're done with the final weight class of flyweights, then I'm going to be offering my rankings once a month. I'm going to update them all once a month. And whoever wants to get them, whoever wants me to email them in a PDF format, just drop me an email, Billy@talkinboxing, TalkinBoxing.com, or Bill@BillyCBoxing.com. Tell me you want to get put on the list, and we'll certainly do that. We got a pretty good list building up right now. And don't forget, you can go to BillyCBoxing.com and get all the links to where we are. We'd really appreciate it if you follow us and subscribe to us and do all those things. Okay, here we go. The Billy C's welterweight division. Now, keep in mind, this is the welterweight and junior middleweight, right? Welterweight and super middleweight. So these are a little more tricky than the heavyweight, cruiserweight, and light heavyweights because I'm combining the multiple weight classes to get these guys, and I'm trying to factor in the skill set for each one and put it in, assuming that they could be interchangeable between 147 and 154, which they are because of the way the weigh-ins are now. Remember, years ago, they used to have same-day weigh-ins. So 147-pounder was 147 pounds, or roughly. They might have gained a couple of pounds, but not 10 or 15 like they do today. All right, number one. My number one welterweight in the world today, I put Virgil Ortiz. I say Virgil Ortiz because I think that he has a slightly tougher resume than Boots Ennis. I also have seen an improvement with him. He's a fighter that is still young, and he seems to be getting better and improving in the right areas. So he's my number one welterweight as of today. My number two is Boots Ennis. And, I'm giving him the props, even though I'm very vocal about his not so great resume, but there's no doubt that he possesses some skill. I just want to see him possess the same skill, or showcase the same skill, I should say, against better opposition. And now we start getting interesting, because number 3 is a guy that, is a talented fighter. He's a tough guy. Israel Madrimov is, and by the way, Ortiz, Ennis, and Madrimov, all USA fighters. This is where they're currently residing as I'm putting the country. And this is something I noticed with the welterweights. A lot of United States fighters here, which was not the case in some of the other divisions. So Madrimov is number 3. Number 4, Brian Norman, also a United States fighter. Number 5, welterweight, I have Jack Catterall. I was talking about him today. I love this kid. I think he's underrated, and I think if you watch this fight this weekend, you'll see what I mean, that he's a good fighter. Number 6, I had to put this guy in here, Sebastian Fundora. He's a tall guy. He's tough to fight. He's fought some decent fights. He does know how to use his height and reach, and his fights against Tim Tszyu, I had to give him credit for both of them. Number 7, Devin Haney. Listen, I had all I could to put him on this list. I'm sorry, but, Devin Haney, to me, more than boxing skill comes to mind when I'm doing my rankings. And Devin Haney doesn't, he may have the skill to box and run, but he's shown that he can't really stand and fight. And he also showed that he's not an exciting fighter. He's not bringing much to the sport. But I have to recognize his skill set, and I have him at number 7. Now, remember, this is 2 divisions combined, so to speak. So number 8 is Brandon Adams. I got to watch Brandon Adams up close when he was fighting in the Boxino tournament we did with LDL-TV and Daniel Edward. We were there. We did some stuff, and Daniel Edward fought Brandon Adams, and Adams made it all the way to the final and ended up losing to Willie Monroe Jr., and I got to see this guy, and he's a pretty exciting fighter. He was actually fighting out of his weight class back when he was in the Boxino, and I believe he's fighting in the right weight class that he should be right now for his size, and he's doing well in this second part of his career, so to speak. I got him at number 8, another USA fighter. At number 9, Liam Paro, who out of Australia. Tough fighter, deserves to be in the top 10 for sure. Another guy that I could have maybe flip-flopped with Paro is Rohan Polanco out of the Dominican Republic, another quality fighter. Number 11 is Abbas Bararu out of Germany. And rounding out my top 12 is Giovanni Santillan out of the United States. Those are my welterweight rankings. So again, if you're interested in getting put on the list, just do that. Give me an email, Bill at BillyCBoxing.com or Billy at TalkinBoxing, TalkinBoxing.com. As far as some final thoughts here, Ortiz and Boots Ennis. I really believe that these guys should get it on. The fight should happen now. There's no marination needed, and I think that that's one of the biggest problems that we have in the sport today. Some other final thoughts is, I know there's a lot of split opinions about the modifications to the Ali Act and the fact that a league could be started and potentially kicking some of the sanctioning bodies. And now remember, this is all by choice. This isn't something that would be getting rid of them. The boxers would have a choice. So if this league did ever materialize, like I said earlier, it would have to start, with a youth movement, which would be right out of the gate would be an infusion of boxing talent, that we could weed through, So I think it's good. I'm supportive of it. I'd like to see it happen. I don't like what I see with the sanctioning bodies. I don't like seeing rankings where you have a guy ranked at the number 1 position, a guy ranked at number 2, then nobody ranked, not rated for number 3 and 4, but yet you have 5, 6, 7, and 8 when you conceivably should move them up. I'm a little hung up on that. And my final thoughts on DAZN. Like I said, look, they sewed up the sport of boxing. Boxing has a tendency to follow the money and be lazy. And what I mean by that is, promoters will follow the money. That's why everybody ran over to Saudi Arabia, because Turki Al-Rashid was shelling out some coin, right? And I've always said, you guys heard me say this on the show, if he decides to walk away, we're going to have a void, because all of a sudden these promoters are going to be like, oh, what do you mean? And some of these commissions make it very hard for club shows to take place. And the fighters make it hard for club shows to take place because of the demands and the fact that they don't want to fight anybody and nobody wants to take any risks and all these things. And the backbone of the sport of boxing is the club shows, because without the club shows, without these grassroots promoters, and, recently we've had Jimmy Birchfield on, who in my opinion is, the best definition of a grassroots promoter. We had Bobby Hitz on not too long ago. And also I got to reach out to Joe DeGuardi. I mean, those are the three grassroots promoters that pop right into my head. And they're all fairly close. I mean, well, Hitz is in Chicago, but, you need those fights. You need those club shows. Without them, I just don't see how boxing can survive. You just, that's why we're seeing this infusion of fighters from other countries that you've never heard of that have all these records, and you realize that, they weren't fighting very good opponents. So, listen, we got so much good stuff planned moving forward. We got guests booked all the way through the year. We're already into 2026 with different guests that are coming on, different array of guests. I hope we keep your interest going. And remember, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, things you want to talk about, or things you want me to talk about, just drop me an email. Billy at talkinboxing, TALKINBOXING.com, or Bill at Billy C Boxing, or reach me on all the socials. We have a couple of different Facebook pages, an X account. If you go to Billy C Boxing, you can find all those links, follow us, subscribe to us, communicate. I'm finally up to speed on social media, so I look forward to that. But anyway, boys and girls, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you tune in next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Until then, I'll leave you with this. Ciao, baby.